In this little tutorial, you're going to take a look on how to get a list of users and groups from the WebFOCUS repository for internal analysis. To do so, there's the first step to get the repository connected. So we're going to go for plus, we're going to go for get data. And in my case, I got SQL Server being my repository database. So I connected SQL Server in here. So I got a connection here that I called reportcaster, which is actually going against my WebFOCUS database, which is my WebFOCUS repository. I already released a separate video in case you want to configure Derby as your repository database, so how to get to Derby-based database. But for us, that's what we need, so we're going to go for that thing. I already created me a little application folder, admin, repository complete, and I'm going to put all the tables in there just to start with. Of course, we don't need all of them, so we could just select the few that we need. In case you want to get all the tables, make sure the row limit here is set to maximum, because by default, that's 50, and you're going to miss a few tables, so set it to max in case you didn't. Select all your tables, and we're going to put them in that folder. So we're going to get way more than we need, but to start with, we got what we need. I don't want to work with Designer now because that's not to start with. First, I want to add a more complex master file. So I've got my admin folder in here, and I put everything in the repository complete, and there are all my tables. To get to a list of users and group, I need to combine a few tables. To do so, we're going to right click here and we're going to go for new cluster business view, and we build a cluster master which is going to combine multiple tables. Trick here is we're going to go for the UOA users. So you're going to see there's the UOA users, which is the table that contains user names and some information on the users. We're going to add our UOA groups and users, which is going to map users and groups. So of course, we're going to need UOA groups. Add that one. So that's what we need. So to continue to work with, let's make it slightly bigger so we can read it. So we're now going to link the ID from UOA users to the user ID in the group users, and we're going to link the group ID from group users to the ID in UOA groups. To make sure we get all the data, click that link, edit the parent link, and double check. So it's ID and user ID. And we want to go for a left outer join so that we also get users that are not assigned to a group. Usually that should be the case, just to be sure. And even more important, because currently we're only getting the first group for each user. To get all groups for each user, make sure to select multiple in here. Then we can close it. We're going to double check in here as well. So in here, it's already set to join multiple. It's okay. Left outer join is not really needed anymore in here. So we're going to stick with what we have. And we're going to save that thing now to our folder. So currently it's called synonym 9, which I don't like. So I'm going to save that one as. So I'm going to give it a new name. So it's users and groups. Going to save it. That's what we need. So we can close the window here, leave it. So we got our master. So of course we can click here and we see there's our users and groups. We can do some sample data. So we see all our data delivered back from the system. Looks good so far. So let's move on. So let's go back over here in the workspaces. So I've got my folder in here where I'm going to place all my user reports. So I already have a few that use the WebFOCUS client REST adapter, in case you want to learn about that one, just give it a try and look at the video that I pasted on the client adapter. So for now, we're going to build a simple report in here. So let's go for create visualization. I'm going to use Designer in here. And we're going to build a report from the admin folder. Going to go for the repository complete. I can search here. So users and groups. There we go. And we create a visualization on top of that table now. I personally prefer to get a table. So I'm going to switch to the table mode. And now I can tell it I want to see the user ID. I want to see the user description. And I want to see from the group table, I want to see the group name and the group description. So we now see that Ashley is part of multiple groups, or Patrick is part of multiple groups. So that's important, and that's why we set that link to be multiple, because now we're going to see all the groups per user. Again, that gets me an HTML version of all my users and groups. Of course, you could do whatever report you want to. You could also switch it to repeat the sort value, so it's going to be easier to read. And you could now easily export it to Excel. So we're going to be able to export all our repository information. And we get an overview of all the groups a user is assigned to. So I see here certain users belong to multiple groups, and I got an overview of groups and users as a simple report. That's how you're going to do it. If you liked the video, please, hit like and subscribe. Take a look at one of the other videos, and enjoy WebFOCUS. Have fun.